Okay, pilots, I'm gonna try and see if I can get my navigation light in here. Because what I've got to do is I'm gonna run my lead from here to this servo and just hook into that servo. It's not gonna be no strobing lights or anything out here. It's just gonna be navigation light. But I'm also going to glue my horns in, let them be drying. Because we're going to try to get a servo or two in maybe. All these little horns was all cut the same way. So you didn't have different ones for the flaps, different ones for the ailerons or the elevator or the rudder. They all the same one. So we got to check, make sure it fits here. It's not fitting good. So we're going to turn our light on here. Look at this. Yeah, I see something down in there. I can't get it out. There it goes. Sometimes they leave a little slag in there. Tighten my blade up here. Still not want me going there good. I might have to sand it a little bit too. Move on, exercise my surfaces after I glued them, yesterday. Making sure they work. But this has got a pretty good piece of wood in it right there. I've got to get out. There we go. Look at there. Yeah, that was a nice one, wasn't it? You gotta be careful. You don't stick your blade all the way through to the other side now. There we go. Still got a little bit more to go. What am I hitting here? What am I hitting? Goodness gracious. I'm afraid if I go much further, I'm going to be going out the back side of it there. Oh, that might go it there. Yep. Now, yeah. Alright. Now where's my super glue? Don't want that thing coming out. Make sure we got a good supply of glue on that one. Get something back here in the back. Oh, that one's going to be tight. Okay. Where'd I throw my lid? Okay. Back around here. Now, anytime you don't have a clue what's behind what you're fixing to cut, just kind of be careful. Now, we know that the light bulb don't really have to go through the hole. Okay. We just want it big enough for the, well, I'm not really going to need the plug but on this one, but sometimes you want the plug to be big enough to go through the hole. And I don't have my covers yet. I've had to order them, so I could just start. I might have to. I don't have my drill yet. I got to go get my drill this weekend. Usually your edges is a solid piece. Yeah. It's out in here that's hollow, but these edges is usually a good solid piece of wood. And it feels like I'm going into a good piece of wood here. I'm just cutting a square. There's me a hole. Yep, there's a lot of stuff back behind it there. Okay. Let's see here. Yep, that's good and solid all the way back into there. Just kind of sticking it around there. See if I feel anything give. There's something right there that ain't wood. That is not wood. My wood goes on under there. Let's see. Yeah, that's some kind of a brace there. Let me see if I can get under him. Might not be able to. A little bit bigger bit. Okay. All right. Now then, I went through one layer there. Now we got to see if we can make it through. Ooh. There I went through that hole. Went to another hole. At this point, you're praying. But you know, we're trying to hit a little small hole up here now. That could be cut out bigger. It's going to be hard. I mean, it ain't going to fall through it. See, I'm hitting it right there. Well, you can't see it, can you? I'm hitting that owl. It should be catching a corner and going right straight into that corner there, trying to poke in through a hole, because it's almost there. It's almost there. It's that far away. I can feel it beating up against it right here. It just won't go through that hole. How long did that take? Let's see, we're at 30 minutes right now. So that's probably a good 15, 20 minutes, wasn't it? Right, let me get my mess off me. Alrighty now. Like I said, we don't need to plug, okay? So all I want to really do is just make sure I got enough lead to get down here. So we're going to cut it off about right there. Because I'll need this piece for my landing light. Now, hopefully, this will go back through here. And with the wire in there and the light run, I'll still have enough room to maybe cut the slot for the light cover and cover it up. Where is my roll of tape at? I guess I didn't use all of it. What did I do with it? There it is. Okay, now let me make sure that I am in the green right wing. Let me look. There I have. Yep. See here? This is the right wing. So it will have the green light. I put the wrong one in. Let's see, was it B17? Yeah, I think it was B17. I put the wrong one in and pull it back out. String it back through again. You just have too much fun doing this, see? Now let's hope we can get through this hole. Oh yeah. And that will do. My light won't come through the hole here, so we're all right. So we're done with that because Seagull puts a little string on it, and I tell you, this little gold string, I like that little gold string. I use that for antennas and stuff on planes. So we got our servos out here. Yeah, we're at 30 minutes already. See if I can run this right quick. Quick, like quick. Ain't worried about putting an arm on it or nothing right now. Your lead run. An extension. I need an extension. Let me see, how's that thing? It's gonna be up. I better get a little bit longer than that. I have to use that one. I think I used all my little 2-footers in my B17. Yeah, I think so. Okay. Checking my polarity. Get a little bit of packing tape. That's going to be inside the wing here somewhere. So we don't want that thing coming apart. They didn't have one here because you flap servos right here. I mean, if you can't get that out, you know, these, you know. Uh-oh, what is going on here? Couldn't get by the landing gear bucket. Come on now. Heck, that's enough. It's the plug. The landing gear bucket here is so low. It barely got the male plug through it, but the female just won't go through it. So we're going to leave that alone right there. I've got to leave this out here anyway. But what I'm going to do to keep from losing that LED lead, for right now, I'm just going to tape it to it so that it'll stay there. I got to get this in this hole. See if I got to do any trimming. Yep. Sometimes in order to get your servo in, you get your lead coming in, but you got to get it down in there. Well, you get it down in there, that gets your servo into an angle to where you don't have enough room to get your corner in up here, okay? So you get your lead in there and you get that corner in there and you start pushing on it, you're going to crush your panel here, all right? So what you can do is just kind of make this in a little bit of an angle right here. the servo casing is just a little bit longer than that hole. Just a little bit. And we got to get this thing back out of here. That might be just a little bit still too much. Yep, just a little bit more. Let's go back down this time. Can't get in that corner right good. Now in the picture and instructions, your gear's up here at the top. Because what they've done, boy, they've give you some nice push rods. And we're going to do it some more. It's hard to get a hold of this wing without feeling like you're going to crush something. Yep. Still a little bit more. Let's see here. Uh-oh. My blade fell out. I know it's in corners. Ah, come on, thing. You gotta be kidding. Damn thing. I don't want to cut much out of it. There we go. Come on now. Yep. I'll hit that side a little bit. There's something right there in that corner, I'm telling you. What in the world can be stopping that thing going down in there? Alrighty then. Finally. That's strange. They usually fit pretty good. Much better than that. Now see I got a loose fitting, see. But I've got my little bag of nuts and bolts here. And in another video I kind of showed the way I do it. And I've had most agree. We got a little rubber bushing and then the brass bushing. You put your rubber, I like to put if you look at it from the side, you can barely tell that one has got kind of a round belly to it while the other side is flat. So I put the round belly down on to the surface. I'm going to take this back out anyway. You gotta get them little things in there. There's the belly. And make sure your little rim is all the way in. It's not pinched in there some way, because when you go to stick that brass bushing in it, it will cut it. And you have to get you another one. That one's not in there. And I insert my brass bushing with the flat rim there down onto the surface. Okay. That way it won't sink into the wood as you're tightening the screw. The screw will stop when it hits the top of the brass bushing. And that way you still have vibration control, because when a screw is not all the way tight, the servo is wiggling on that rubber bushing instead of just stiff. Stiffy. Like so. Now, put it back in there. Put our screws in. After we take my little handheld drill here, drill a hole. Now, if you'll notice how the servo is setting up right, okay, usually they laying down. Well, this model is setting up right. So you're getting a chance to drill downward instead of sideways to mount it. Okay. So they put a real, that's what was giving me so much trouble was, is it, you know, this just ain't no covering right here. This has got a piece of pretty, I mean, it ain't thick. It's over an 1/8 of an inch thick piece of wood that rims that so that you can get this in here and bolt it down to a good piece of wood. Again, you can take this back out, you know, and put you a little bit of super glue in that hole or to strengthen that wood. But like I said, that the wood that I'm drilled into is not like balsa. I mean, it's like redwood. Pretty hard. It's taking me a while to get through it. See here? This little drill. It just pops right through that little covering. It takes a minute to get through that piece of wood. The servo comes with its own screws, but this model did actually come with screws that you can match your servos with. But I'm not going to use them. I'm just going to use these. Alright. Okay, that one's in. Now, as I said before, they give you some fairly nice push rods here. Nice. So let's get one of these things out here. These long ones. And not only did they give you some push rods, but a lot of extra ones. Let's see here. These are going to be for, of course, ailerons and flaps. And they give you some long ones there. 3. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. And that ain't all. There's more long ones in here. And they even got a little rod. There's another short one. A little short rod here. I think this is more or less going to be a rudder probably. And 2 of these will be the elevator. Because the elevator servo and the rudder servo is mounted kind of in the middle ways of the fuselage, but then they give you a couple more like this type. What do we got here? Let's see if there's anything else. Nope, it's just staples. There's a rod. There's a small rod in there. But anyway, you get to something like this with a Z-bend on the end of it. That might be the throttle. That could have been meant for the throttle. There's the last short one. And maybe that's what this goes to. You know, I just got to look it up and see. But then I know 2 of these is going to be rudder and elevators. Of course, there could be 2 that's going to be on the elevators to have 2 separate ones for each elevator. Might be why they give me 3. But then we got these rods here. And they give you the lockdown type callus instead of a snapping type, to where you put an L bend in your rod. Okay, this one's going to be going in the arm here. And then they give you something similar to that right there, which is kind of like a lock. You take your measurement, they're saying you measure it, and then you make your bend downward. Make sure you got enough on your measurement to make the downward bend. And then you bring this around. After you hook it into the arm, you bring this around and snap it into the rod, which will hold it there, just like so. Okay, so that's what I've got to do in order for this. And then they also, you've got your threads here for the adjustments, and they've got a little piece of tube there to put over it and a little lock nut. I'll get you down here to look at that before we go, because I'm already an hour in putting servos in, and the horns and the nav light there took me a little bit to get the corner in, but that's what we're looking at. I'm out.